To be a competitive country, we need to educate our people in the jobs and the skills of today, but also the very social fabric of our country is either increased by education or diminished by it.
But there are far too many kids in the country not getting the kind of education they need. When kids don't get that, they basically don't have a chance in life. So the cost of educational failure as the economy has changed over the past 20, 30 years has gone up exponentially. And the critique, I think, that we often got is that we were going too fast. I think the honest critique I give it myself is we were going far too slow. And I don't think there's a state or a district in the country that can say they are both raising the bar and closing the gap fast enough. So you got to come with a huge sense of urgency because kids have one chance at a great education.
I worry that we're not quite at a place yet as a country where we can agree and where we all will embrace the notion that says we can have high college and career ready standards for all students. We can have accountability for all students. We can ensure that we have good measures for progress underneath those standards. But the teaching and learning experience of our students has to be individualized. It has to meet them where they are and help them get ahead.
If schools change, that change will be a response to the people in the schools. And so it is controlled completely by the practitioners. And so there needs to be a closer collaboration between policymakers and practitioners.
Our nation's schools of education, our teacher prep programs, if they got a letter grade, that might not be too pretty. And we have to really start to think about if we honestly believe teachers make a huge difference in kids' lives, are we truly preparing them to be successful? And the honest answer is in way too many places we're not.
I'd have a letter grade for the states, and I'd have a letter grade for districts, and I would make public the performance of schools. Sunlight's the best disinfectant. Lets everybody do the best job they can and look at the results. Be sure you factor into that all the inputs, students, student background, parental background, income, but let's look at where you started and let's look at where you ended.
So I think that that's one key major change that could help us all, whether we're in comprehensive high schools or in charter schools or any kind of schools like that, if students play a greater role in owning their own education and effort.
The last thing we want to do is lose our focus on college and career readiness for all students. And I think we need to do more to make sure that we're returning and supporting some of the decision making at the state and local level around that work, and that we're embracing innovation. You know, as Arne mentions, we have to go further faster here if we're going to close the achievement gap, and that requires us embracing some new models and ideas around how we support teaching and learning in our schools.
I think we should try and give every kid access to a high-quality early childhood education, so they start pre-K ready to go. I think we should try and get high school graduation rates up to 90% as fast as we can. We've seen some real progress. We have a long way to go. I think we should try and eradicate dropout factories. That's almost like a public health issue, like we eradicated polio. I think we need to make sure that 100% of high school graduates are truly college and career ready. And finally, I think we need to try and lead the world in college completion rates again. Now, we could have lots of vigorous debate, and we should try lots of different innovative things to achieve those goals.